Some of you have asked, what rules are the best to have in our family, in our home? Really? These are the only 3 rules you'll ever need in your family.
We've talked quite a bit about rules and what rules can we have, as we are setting up our family. And it is nature of the beast that you can't make a rule for every situation.
No, you try sometimes.
You try and you actually get yourself in trouble.
I've worked with a lot of families who are in this position too, where there's this exhaustive list.
Right.
In fact, I did a home visit once, and over on the wall was posted a list of the rules. It was fine print.
Oh.
And there were probably 100 listed on this single sheet. All of the rules of the family. That's exhausting. And there's some problems with that.
Because your child will find a way around the rules. I just want to share one experience my mother told about a time she had told my brother, I have 3 older brothers, and one of them loved to write on the walls. And she said, absolutely no writing on the walls, right? So he's quiet, which as a parent, anytime your child is quiet,
you should be
better
nervous.
Figure it out. And she goes, and he has written along all of the baseboards, very careful
meticulously,
not to get on the wall.
He followed the rule.
He followed the rule. So we're going to talk about 3 rules that they pretty much cover everything. We have yet to find anything that it doesn't cover.
We've tested these in our own home.
I've tested them in my classroom.
I've tested them with families in a clinical setting for almost 30 years. We haven't found anything that's not covered by these 3 rules.
So would you like to hear them?
Does that sound good to you?
Okay.
Here's rule number 1. Respect yourself and others.
Right.
All right, now there's some important components here. First of all, let's talk about what respect means.
Right.
I've asked a lot of kids,
what does it mean?
Respect mean? And they give me the most simple, pure answer that I think is a really good one to start with. It means be nice.
That is a language that every child can understand after maybe 18 months?
It
Be nice.
comes so naturally to them. And when I ask kids, what does respect mean? Those who understand it come up with that. So let's just roll with that for a minute. Now, respect may have other subtle definitions that we as adults could illuminate. But let's just go with that. Be nice to yourself and others. So that covers all the people, right? I like to do little exercises with kids, or if I'm working with a family. Okay, so I'm going to do it with you. I'll throw out a few things. You tell me if that is keeping rule number 1 or if that's violating rule number 1. Okay, you ready? And Vicki, you can speak for the audience. But you go ahead and play along with us. You ready? Here we go. Punching somebody in the nose.
Not respect.
Good. How about calling a name, a nasty name?
Down. We do this at school.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. You playing along? See how easy this is so far? How about, okay, I'm frustrated and I say, I can never do anything right.
See, and
I broke the rule?
Yeah, because you're not being kind to yourself.
Oh, that's right. How about abusing substances? Do you see how that's not respectful to myself or to others for that matter? Now, there's some other ways. How about giving a compliment to someone, a genuine compliment?
Yep, that's showing respect.
Okay, we got our first thumbs up there. How about
smiling when your mom comes home from work, right?
Okay, easy, simple. And sometimes easy and simple aren't the same thing, but I think it's both here. It's easy to identify what keeps the rule and what violates the rule. Respect yourself and others.
Right. The second rule is to respect property.
Starts the same.
Respect property. Now, I love this one because how many of you as moms and dads get so tired of stuff all over the floor, right? Is that respecting property if you leave your toys and your things out? You leave your bike on the lawn to get rained on. No, that's not respecting property. So respecting property is taking care of it, putting it away, having a home for it, but it's also treating with kindness and being nice to
stuff.
things. My sister's diary is reading her diary, showing respect for that property or your sister.
Right. That's violating both rules, really. This would have covered your mom.
Right. Respect property. So that baseboard was property.
Right. So you don't have to come up with a rule for every little item of property. You know, it's interesting because I ask kids, what is property? And they tell me, my neighbor's yard. Because that's the context they've heard it in, right?
Yeah.
Stay out of my property kind of thing. Yes, and it's all of the things in our world. It means taking care of those things, putting them in the place where they belong, not taking something that doesn't belong to you, taking good care of stuff. This is all property. Okay, so you gave us one example. How about I come home from school, I take off my backpack and throw it on the couch.
That's not it. Nope.
Not violated rule 2, right there. Because that's not its home. I take off my shoes and throw them in the sink. Play with this a little bit, because as you share the rules with your kids.
And you know what issues you're dealing with in your own home. Let's just try those. Just try them on for size. See if they go against, if you can put them inside the box of respect yourself and others, respect property, think them through.
That pretty much covers it.
Almost.
Almost.
Right. So the third and final rule that we're going to propose for you is...
I really like the roll we're on with respect. Can we just stick with that?
Yep.
Respect authority.
Now this is kind of a hot topic. We got to talk about, what does it mean? What does authority mean?
Well, first and foremost, it means you as a parent. Because you're in charge. You're driving the family bus. Yes, you want to have a friendly relationship with your children, but you're not their friend, you're their parent.
I kind of think of the authority as somebody who might have stewardship over the situation, the person, the place, the situation. So in your home, respect authority as yourself. But what about a babysitter?
This is where, when we're introducing it to the kids, I've asked a lot of kids about this one. What is authority? And they very quickly pick up on the definition that it's whoever is in charge.
Right.
So the babysitter is in charge when mom and dad leave. What about the teacher? The teacher's in charge at school. What about the principal? Principal's in charge at school. What about the police? What about the judge? See, there are different levels of authority. Now, we're not getting into a discussion on this video about what to do if you disagree with the authority. That's another conversation. The rule is that you respect authority. And that covers pretty much everything that we might have missed in the first two.
Right.
Even though the first two are pretty comprehensive. Do you like those rules? Do you think you can remember those rules? How about your kids? And I was saying earlier that have some fun with it.
Right.
Use some examples that help kids to know when they're violating any of these 3 rules. And then you can start tying the consequences instead of this comprehensive list of rules that's not comprehensive after all, and that your kids will find their way around. Now we've narrowed it down to 3 simple rules that everybody understands. And mom and dad, these rules apply to you as well. Parenting can be challenging, but you don't have to do this alone. Did you know that we've got some programs that we've put together for you, resources, a whole platform to support you as a positive parent? Come over to Live on Purpose Central. There's a special link in the description. Go click on that. Come on over to Live on Purpose Central, where we will help you to be the parent that you've promised yourself you would be.